Hi, this is Sandy with GlobalMana. We recently sat down with Charley Ice from the Hawaii Water Commission to discuss the various challenges he faces in preserving water quality standards on the islands.
My name is Charley Ice. I work at the Commission on Water Resource Management, and we're right here in downtown Honolulu, across from the Capitol building on Punch Bowl, and also right next to Honolulu Hale, the city hall. I work in the groundwater section, so I'm constantly permitting well construction, and we have well construction standards that are intended to protect the resource. We construct the well so that the well itself is not a conduit. If there is any contamination, it would be confined to the root zone, where a lot of it does degrade, and hopefully very little of it will actually get down to where it begins to percolate with rainfall to the water table. The potential contaminants that we would be concerned about is probably more than anything else the agricultural chemicals that have been used on sugar and on pineapple. The fumigants for pineapple, for example, many of them get below the root horizon down into the groundwater. One of the pesticides used on sugar is atrazine. It controls the ants, and it gets down into the groundwater too. Fortunately, the groundwater is always flowing towards the ocean, and so with time, most of that should be cleared out, but it's hard to know how much is still in process of getting there, because it takes a while for it to move through all of the lavas that we have. In my role at the Commission, I keep one eye on the stream issues, because we are trying to restore stream flows after over a century of sugar production, where a lot of streams were dewatered for irrigating sugar. So we actually don't have a baseline of what would have been considered healthy in streams, but fortunately we have a lot of scientific work that helps us to understand how the flow regime contributes to habitat, and so we're making some statistical decisions about how to optimize the environment that way, and we are in the process of constantly restoring stream flows. And the benefit of that, of course, is that it goes directly to kalo production, and so that Native Hawaiians are able to reestablish that part of their culture. Kalo production exists all along the stream banks. The water flows in from the stream. It cools and waters the plants, and if it's cool enough, it prevents various viruses and bacteria from attacking it, and then it's usually returned to the stream. So there's actually not very much of a net consumption of the water. It is returned to the stream for the other downstream purposes, other kalo producers and the fish that come up and the plants and so on. It's something that could feed all of us. When we have good rainfall, we have good stream flow, and that contributes nutrients from the land to the nearshore environment, and that seems to be actually the most potent set of factors in keeping the nearshore environment healthy for the limu that's collected, or seaweed, as well as all the different fish and crustacean species that we have. Because we're headed towards sort of long-term diminishment of stream flow because of long-term diminishment of rainfall because of climate change, we are probably going to have to look at the fact that taking water out of a stream for purely consumptive use is probably not going to be as high a priority as it is leaving it in the stream for the creatures that live in the stream or in the nearshore environment. It happens also that in my background, I've been involved with a number of other issues related to agriculture. There was a program here many years ago to try to minimize runoff and erosion, because that's one of the major pollutants in our nearshore environment. A lot of our otherwise really productive habitats have been silted in. A lot of the fish ponds that used to be the state of the art around the world for fish production have been silted in. So, we have those issues to try to address. It's really a cultural issue for me, and the whole idea of reestablishing a healthy relationship between humans and all the other creatures. We want to be able to work with indigenous people to respect their proprietary responsibilities. Insofar as they can teach us a little bit more about that, that's the wonderful connection that we're trying to build.